Hello from the back of a Renault Vel Satis. I've just been for my last drive in this car, which has made me very sad, which I did not expect. So that's all a bit peculiar. We're going to answer member Q&A questions though. These are questions rather asked by channel members and patrons of the YouTube channel. So we've got some supporters who have a YouTube channel membership, others who support us on Patreon. They all get an opportunity to ask questions, and these are those questions. Rosie Butt, with a single T, in case you were wondering. Excluding Miss Hubner, what are your recommended products for rust treatment prevention? We do like the Alpha Lan from the MDS Europe people. We do use that. That's like a fluid film lanolin type thing, like the more famous one you've heard of. That seems to have done a good job of protecting this car and the Mitsubishi while they've been stuck in the unit over winter. It gets so damp and humid in there. So yeah, impressed with those. Built Hamber stuff is good. We've got the Oatrol stuff is good as well. We have an affiliate link for that, and we do get sent the Alpha Lan a reduced price, which is nice as well. So moving on, Deep Blue Dreams. Once a Pajero Junior is finally brought back from the dead, could we maybe expect a light off-roading video? I do hope so. That is the one thing keeping me going on that, is I want to go off-roading in it, because I think it will be awesome. But yeah, we're still struggling with that. I don't know if you've seen the weekly update yet, but problems occurring. James G75, I think there are many interesting cars which sadly never made it to production. If you had the ability to change history, which ones are you choosing to enter the showrooms? James picks the Renault Eve, the Citroën Project A. Was it not a Simca Eve? And the Reliant FW11. They're all good choices. Cars I wish had been produced. I wish they'd produced more of the Ogle SX250. It's a Daimler Dart, or SP250, with what became the Reliant Scimitar body shell. That's an interesting car. There's plenty of Citroens I wish they'd made. But oddly, one of them they did make, which was what became the Alcit. That was a prototype car, had been fully engineered until Citroen went bust. And Peugeot said, no, that is stupid. We shall make it more sensible, and launched the Citroen Visa instead, which looked a bit the same, but under the skin was more Peugeot and a bit more sensible. So, yeah, they actually made that one. Otherwise, what do I wish they'd made? I don't know, really. I've caught myself a bit unprepared on that one. Kai-Peter Schellhasser, any future road trips planned? Well, I'm meant to be on one this weekend, but we had to cancel that. That was going to the Netherlands. I do still want to go to the Netherlands this year. I can't get to Japan Classic Sunday. I recommend that if you got even the slightest interest in Japanese cars, Japan Classic Sunday is amazing. The variety of cars they have there and the quality of them is astonishing. People come from all over Europe to that meet, organised by my friends Ivan and Patrick in the Netherlands, and it's usually the first Sunday in July. And JCS is sometimes the abbreviation. You can find it as JCS on Facebook. Takes some finding, but you can find it. Do go to Japan Classic Sunday. It's amazing. But no future road trips at the moment. But sometimes the best ones aren't planned. Grumpy Talk 8905, just so we make sure we got the right Grumpy Talk. What's your favourite brand of wiper? It's probably Bosch, ultimately. I tend to put Bosch blades on everything. They don't seem to last like they used to. But for the first year, you tend to get some decent wipes out of them. Martin Air 5350, there must be a lot of Martin Airs. If there's one K car you could own, which one would it be? Well, Miss Hubner desperately wants a Daihatsu Midget, just for the wrongness of it all. I always wanted a Daihatsu Mira TRXX Avanzato, but to be honest, there's loads of them. The Honda Z. You remember I did a video about the Volkswagen EA 266 project that was being engineered by Porsche, and it had a mid-mounted engine under the rear seat, and ultimately they went, that's a stupid idea, we won't do this. Someone at Honda seemed to see that prototype and went, we can do that. So they built some mid-engined tiny K-car hatchbacks, the Honda Z, and some of them had front four-wheel drive. Just insanity. So yeah, one of those please, or AutoZam AZ1, but that's a bit of a cliche with the gull wing doors. One of them would be fun. Craig 1010cc, which of the cars you've already tested would you like to retest, but in a different spec? Oh, that's an interesting one. I mean, I'm in one of them. I drove a 4-cylinder Vel Satis, and now I've experienced the majesty of the V6. Utterly transforms it. This is the V6 turbo diesel. Different spec. Oh, blimey. I mean, there's so many cars, it's hard to think of them. I've driven petrol and diesel multiplas, so that box is ticked off. Driven many engines in Xantias. I don't think there's one I'm missing there. Different spec. Xantia V6 Activa. I've never driven any Activa, but I'm particularly keen to drive a V6 one. They were left-hand drive only. A few right-hand drive exist. Yeah, I really want to. Carlo Verhaar. Underdog Renaults like the 614 or 9 Forts. Yeah, I would happily own any of them. My dad had a Renault 9 when I was a child. A 1.2 Broadway, 5-speed gearbox, auto reverse cassette, sunroof. We thought we were the bee's knees compared to the Hillman Hunter it replaced. So that one was astonishing. Hold on, the car has just turned itself off and stopped charging my phone. Hold on a moment, because I'm using the old brick with its cracked screen to read the questions. But the car has just decided I've left the ignition on too long, so it's just turned it off. The joys. Right, there we are. Turn the power on, and that'll keep charging. Marvellous. So yeah, I love the Underdog Renaults. The 6 is possibly one of the most underrated cars of all time. It's like a more car-like Renault 4. And we saw loads of them in Spain, actually. 14s are just super rare. I'd love to drive one. Quarterlight. I know Miss Hubnut loves the design of the Vel Satis, but did she get the chance to ride in this one? And what did she think? Well, here we are in it. Fortunately, without a Miss Hubnut. Unsurprisingly, at work. Yeah, she really likes the Vel Satis. Yeah, I think she would rather like to keep it, but we just can't. Too many cars. Edward Allen Newton asked what my dream fleet would be, but Edward, too many cars I would love to own. I can't just pick one. And trying to pick your perfect fleet. I probably don't own my perfect fleet. I don't think I'm there, but I do like what I've got. I like the mix. Otter MG, of the cars currently in the fleet, which is the preferred vehicle of each Hubnut family member and why? I haven't done my homework on that. I don't know. Miss Hubnut, we did actually discuss this briefly last night, and Miss Hubnut said the Vel Satis because it looks like a K-drama car. She's big into her Korean dramas at the moment. I'm not sure why it looks like a K-drama car. They don't have these in Korea, I don't think. But weirdly, the Renault Laguna, was it the Safran, sold as the Renault Samsung in the eastern places. Yes, that might have been Korea. But then she remembered she actually owns the Fiat Panda. So, yeah, probably that one. And the boy just loves everything and falls in love with different things. I think the Vel Satis is popular just because it's the most recent arrival. Mike's 747, what other extreme vehicle weirdness will you try after the Vel Satis? I'm game for anything. An Avantime would be lovely, but I suspect we're too late. They are genuinely quite collectible now. So that's a bit of a shame. In fact, a friend of mine owned one and he ended up selling it to France because they've become so collectible over there. It was the only way of affordably getting one. Alan Mollison, 6971. Oh, it must be an awful lot of Alan Mollisons. I think he's over in New Zealand. Have you considered buying an older car, such as a pre-war car like the Austin 7? Yes, when funds allow, we are definitely going to own something pre-war. I love Austin 7s. But there's a whole world of cars. There's far more than Austin 7s out there, so let's see. Frank Waltius, did you decide to sell the Vel Satis so early on your own, or did Miss Hubnut convince you? Entirely the opposite. She's quite sad that the car is going, but I have my reasons that will become apparent in the future. I said I was going to acquire more cars. We're not done yet, folks. Might have to wait a few weeks, but we're not done yet. So yeah, it was very much my decision. This feels like a danger car, and I thought, well, let's have me 900 miles in it and move it on down the road. I can't afford for anything to go wrong with this car at the moment. We are pushing the budget just by having it. So there we are. Stuart Kenny, looking at new cars, is it getting difficult to find a manual? Are we one of the last generations that will learn to use a manual gearbox? Certainly with the rise of electric cars, which have manual automatic gearboxes effectively, because it's 2-pedal drive, I think manual gearboxes, it will become a bit of a lost skill. So I'm very pleased that the Hublets are learning manual, or stick to you Americans, because unlike in America, if you pass your test in an automatic here, you're restricted to just automatics. You have to take a manual test if you want to drive manual cars. So yeah, slight difference. Hublets, with mortgage rates dropping, could you see yourself as a property owner in the future? Not the way finances are currently. No, I've blown all my money on cars. Scottish car enthusiast and trains TV, who owns Arnold Smart, the Smart we had last year. Now if you own a Vel Satis, would you consider the equally bonkers Aventime or not? Yes. I think in some ways I prefer it. I mean, obviously it is much better as a family car because it has rear doors and a much larger boot. But the Aventimes are just bonkers. I love them. David the Hillbilly 7995. There must be even more hillbillies. Wow. How about a test drive of a Hemi Dart? 9-second quarter miles is about all they're good for. I presume that's the Dodge Darts. Yeah, I'll be up for that if I could find one. But of course, we have driven a Dart with a Hemi engine this year, and that was the Daimler SP250. But because Dodge already had use of the name Dart, Daimler had to drop it. Stephen Cook, this question comes up a lot. Is there any car you regret selling? Yeah, and it varies depending what mood I'm in. It's usually the Rover P6. Matt Phillips 4419, as a young motoring journalist, can you remember what it was like to be handed a set of car keys for the first time and told review that? And do you still get the same feeling? Well, it didn't quite happen like that. I only became a car journo in my late 20s, so I wasn't that young. But I do distinctly remember my first day as a freelancer. This is before I even started as a staffer. I managed to blag some paid work. The very first car I ever drove, and I'm so proud of this, for paid work, was a Mercedes-Benz W116. It was a 350 SE. I think it was an SE. Or maybe it was just a 350. So 3.5 litre V8 engine. And one of those super rare, the first proper generation of S-Class Mercedes. And yeah, that was quite the moment. Also drove a 3 Synchro MGB and an Austin Healey 3000 that day. So the first day at work was the best day at work. Amazing. And thankfully that then turned into a staff job on Classic Car Weekly. Yeah, I very much remember what it was like. It was magical. And do I still get the same feeling? Yeah, every single time I do a review, it's the same excitement because I don't know what it's going to be like. And often you're catching me when I've got very little experience. I'm literally finding my feet as I go in the car. And I love that. Yeah, the excitement is still very, very real. Also, is Little Miss Hubnut going to review her car, your car? Or are you keeping the Hublets away from the glare of the media? We're a bit measured in getting them involved in the channel just because they're not necessarily ready for just how horrible the comments can be, especially Little Miss Hubnut being female. Females tend to attract the worst comments. Even some men trying to be nice end up coming across creepy, and it can be a bit disturbing. So it's not that we keep them off the channel, but we try not to involve them too much. But I think they'll probably be in a video fairly soon, at least one of them. But yeah, it's a good idea for her to review her car, but she can't actually drive her car at the moment. I got temporary insurance for her to do one driving lesson in it, and she did that and declared that she would prefer to keep driving Desmond the Canary until she's passed her test. So there we go. AC/DC Backyard Babies, like it. Have you ever attended Pride of Longbridge? Yes. Don't ask me which years, but I've been many times. One time I went over in a friend's Austin 3 litre. That was a particularly pleasant day. So yeah, there we go. Grumpy Talk 8905. What word is spelled incorrectly in every single dictionary? That sounds a bit clever for me. I have no idea. S-Rich GTR, is the Vel Satis the car you've owned for the shortest amount of time? It was in and out like a greased weasel. Yes, channel members and a few other people, the word is starting to get out. No, I have sold this car. So in fact, if you've seen this, I think this is coming out after our weekly update, so therefore it's pretty good knowledge. But yeah, it's gone. So I've just had my last drive in it, in fact, so I'm just kind of sitting in it. I don't think it's the shortest amount of time. I think I have sold one. I remember I bought a BMW 5 Series from a colleague and it didn't run, and I think I paid him 150 quid for it. He dumped it on my driveway, and I'm pretty sure I sold that within like 4 days, and he got quite upset about it, but it was there, it needed selling, and I sold it. Job. Tony Kennedy 6161. Wow, over 6,000 Tony Kennedys. Hi Ian, I have a theory that no cars made past the noughties will ever become a classic like the cars of the previous to the noughties. What's your thought on this? Obviously some will, the high performance cars maybe. And he dailies an R129, beautiful Mercedes-Benz SL, having left the rat race of rolling finance for years on Bimmers and Mercs. Very refreshing going back to the 90s for me. Certainly 90s, early noughties, I think his peak car. I think this car is already the start of getting too complicated. We've got the electronic handbrake. Why? What was wrong with a lever? Nothing. Levers work perfectly fine for like over 100 years of motoring. We didn't need to change that. Generally, my Fairmont, I like my Fairmont. It's got all the good things about more modern motoring. I mean, it's 24 years old, but it hasn't got too much of the bad. I like it a lot. I'm going home in it today. Early retirement, Wales. If you could own only one vehicle, what would it be? And I apparently answered that accidentally. Whoops. Yeah, I couldn't pick one vehicle because I love tiny little underpowered cars like the 2CV, the Daihatsus, Desmond, but I also like waft. So I just couldn't do it. I don't think there was any one car in the world that does everything I want from a car. Impossible. Mostly because I love 2CVs, but 2CVs are very noisy on the motorway. So endeth the YouTube questions. As is often the way, we've only got 3 Patreon questions. I sometimes wonder why I bother posting on Patreon. People don't seem to pay attention, or they've got actually got channel memberships as well. But thank you to the 3 who have. Nigel Hancock is one. You've probably answered this one before, but I'm old and forget things. What did you want to do as a job when you were at school? This question is to Miss Hubner as well, who isn't here, unfortunately. I wanted many things. I wanted to be a garage mechanic at one point. That wouldn't have ended well, would it? And then I did my school work experience at Land Rover on the validation team. So basically vehicle testing. And I thought that was the best job in the world. And that's why I chose to take engineering at college after my GCSEs, when I should have stuck with what I'm good at, which was English and biology. I should have gone down that path. It might have got me into journalism a bit sooner if I'd done that, but hey, I was young and stupid. So yeah, probably not what you were expecting, Land Rover validation team, but that was a work experience gone wrong, really. Hubert Krauser, many thanks for the great content. Now that you are not visiting AM Valhalla, very sad, it's tomorrow. Are there any other plans to visit the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany this year? Yes, I've got some amazing road tests lined up in the Netherlands I was hoping to do while I was over there. So the fact I'm not means I need to reschedule and go and just do those, I think, and have a bit of a road trip. No idea when that's going to be or in which car, but hopefully I can get that done over the summer. We'll see. And Robin Wells, why do you think that the Vel Satis is so heavy? In truth, I don't know, but the fact it's got a 3-litre V6 diesel engine and quite a big automatic gearbox isn't helping, nor is the stupidly complex, ridiculous rear suspension, and there are subframes front and rear as well, so there's a lot of heft in the car. So that's probably why. And so end of the questions. So huge thanks to everyone for your questions, the channel members and the patrons. They support us with very small amounts every month. We've actually added a new layer for channel members, so you can upgrade. It's just £1.99 a month, and we've got several hundred of you doing just that, so thank you very much. That $1.99 a month, it adds up. It really does keep us going, so thank you very much. But we've added an extra layer. We haven't given you anything for that, because it's already difficult enough trying to do the monthly videos, sorry, the weekly videos that we give to our channel members. So we've just got a higher layer where you get an extra warm feeling for supporting us more. But thank you, it does make a huge difference to what we are doing. It enables us to get the car parts, and it just keeps these videos coming. So thank you. And thank you also to those who support us on Patreon as well. That is also very much appreciated. But I need to stop waffling. I need to get home, because dinner time is approaching and I'm the chef. What could possibly go wrong? Thank you very much for watching along, and we'll see you in a future video. Farewell. Look at the state of that. That screen, utterly ruined. It does work when you open the screen up, thankfully. So that's how I can read my Patron questions, but that's still quite flickery. And that's why I don't use that phone anymore. I broke it.